Welcome to BeachJam Media, your resource-driven oasis with your host, Jennifer Corbin-Carson. Join us each week as we dive into hot topics and essential materials for individuals and businesses. We invite you to get your feet wet and explore life's offerings. From insightful discussions to practical advice, we're here to navigate the tides of change together. Come join us for BeachJam Media, where knowledge flows endlessly and where the currents of insight never stop. So come on, let's get our feet wet and explore what's waiting for us on the beach.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry we're a little bit late today. We have some special guests today. My name is Jennifer Corbin-Carson, and I am your host for BeachJam Media. I am a mom, a veteran, a grandma, an entrepreneur, a business owner, and a grandma, and I wear many hats, but the hat I wear for you is the resource hat. So at BeachJam Media, we are all about getting you the resources you need to navigate the waves of change. So again, like I said, we have a great show for you today. We have a couple of guests, a husband and wife team, and it's Phil and Jen Hoyle. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey. Good morning.
Oh my gosh.
Good morning.
It's been a long time.
Yes, years. Years
Yes.
since I've seen you in person.
Yes, probably about 6 years. I was thinking about this morning, and it's been about 6 years, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. So it's good to reconnect. I love it. So
I'm excited for this.
Yes, me too. So for our audience, why don't you guys give us a little background in who you are and what you do now? And Phil, I know you're a veteran, so thank you for your service. Jennifer, thank you for your service as well, because you were involved in that too. So give us a little background.
Do you want to start, Phil, or do you want me to start?
We'll let ladies go first.
I love you. So, so we have Phil and we've been married about almost 16 years. We have 9 children between us. Phil, when we got married, I had 4 children. He had 2 children, and then we had 2 together and adopted a daughter. So we have 9 together, military family through and through. I've been a military spouse for 30 years. And it never goes away. Sorry, I'm out here at horses too. We're always busy. We are always busy with 9 kids. So I'm at horse lessons. Phil's at home, handling the other kids. But, that's a little bit about me as far as the military. I love it. I love everything about it. I love the opportunities it's brought. I love the relationships it's brought to us, like Jennifer here. And it wouldn't have been possible without the military. I am by trade, I'm an elementary school teacher. I taught 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. And now I have a network marketing business that Phil and I do together. It's global. We love it. It allows us to work from anywhere. And the best part of our life now is that we're able to give back to our community. We're very involved in our community, in the military organizations around out at the beach. We live in Florida, so we're close to the beach, and we're really big into giving back, and all the things that we've learned and we've been given and the people we've met, we feel like it's for a bigger purpose, that God is, wanting us to share that. So we're so blessed to be here and excited that Jennifer asked us. And I'll turn it over to my amazing husband, who is my hero, and the father of my 9 babies. So, Phil, you want to take it away?
Hi, good morning, everybody. And my name is Phil Hoyle. I'm a retired Army colonel, 22 years active duty. Retired in 2008. I tell folks that my military career set me up for where I am today. The relationships, the experiences, the wisdom and the knowledge and all that I learned through the military, through my military service, has really done me well and helped me get me to where I am today. Um, so I did the whole government contractor thing for since 2008. I was everything from business development, going after big government contracts. I was a bag carrying sales guy, and but now, like Jen said, we're full time entrepreneurs, faith-based entrepreneurs, in where we help other folks change their lives for the better. So very excited to be here today and to share whatever questions you have.
That's great. So you guys, so Phil, in this Beach Jam Media is geared toward resources, right? Especially towards veterans and their families and how what they need to succeed. So what was it like transitioning from active duty to the government contracting? Because I pretty much did the same thing, right?
So I tell
So
folks,
what was it like? Sorry, go ahead.
no, excellent question. And I get asked it a lot. And I pride myself on helping former soldiers and military personnel from transitioning from the active duty military into the civilian life. And I tell them, I said, there's three things you have to remember as a veteran. First and foremost, um, make sure all of your VA stuff is straight. Make sure everything in your medical records are documented, so that you get what is due you from the government in terms of your service from the Veterans Administration. I didn't do that. In fact, I'm still struggling to get that done now, and I have people helping me get that done. And I ran into a couple folks, and they said, well, I really don't deserve it. There's other people that are more deserving. And I tell them, I said, well, first off, don't do it for you. Do it for your spouse and your family, because they're the ones that are going to benefit even more so than you. And then when I tell them that, they're like, oh, okay, so I get it now. So make sure all your VA stuff's straight. That's the first thing I tell them. Second thing I tell them is rely on your network. Your network that you establish within the military. Every job that I got afterwards was because I knew somebody or somebody knew me. And so rely on your network to get you exactly where you want to go to, because that's how we worked it in the military. We had buddies in the other units that you could go rely on, or grab SOPs from, or do what have you. That you always reached out to that circle of friends. It's no different in business. You have that circle of friends, reach out to them, and they're the ones that are going to help you get to where you need to go. So rely on your network. And then the last thing I tell them is don't be afraid to be unemployed. We as military folks have been going to the same job for 20 years or however long. And so you have a very steady state. Every day I got a job I have to go to. I tell them, don't be afraid of being unemployed, because first off, you have your retirement coming in, so you have income coming in. Second, you have your medical covered with your TRICARE for life. So where a lot of a lot of my colleagues that were with me in the civilian world, they were having trouble making ends meet because of having to pay so much in health insurance. And so I tell folks, don't be afraid to be unemployed, because you're covered, at least to get you through the interim. And then I know those are the three things, but the last thing I tell them is most military folks do not know their worth coming out of the military. And so I help them kind of frame what they are worth in the civilian job market to help them establish and get a new job if they decide to go the contractor route. And then I can tell you a whole nother thing about if they decide to go into entrepreneurship or if they decide to start their own business, that's a whole nother set of things that I help folks with.
That's great.
Um,
And it's funny, not funny haha, but funny because that's exactly what we're here at BeachJam Media to do is to help those veterans. And and it's funny because I say the same thing, make sure your VA stuff is correct, and in your medical record, because like you, I'm struggling now with getting the benefits. But you really touched on something that I can relate to, is that I wasn't, in the beginning, after I got out, I didn't retire, but after I got out, I started getting I guess I had a few medical issues,
mhm,
and I thought, well, it's not bad, I'll be okay, and I'm
mhm,
not gonna go for my disability, right? I'm okay. Well, I was that person that said, I don't deserve it. There's people, out there, let them save the money for that other person. When in reality, that money is there for you,
mhm.
right? It's not, they're not going to spend it on somebody else. They need to spend it on you.
Exactly.
So yes, I was one of those people, and now, and a lot of this Beach Jam media started from my own frustrations with going through the VA for medical, going through the VA for prescriptions, going through the VA for disability. And I thought, I cannot be the only one that has gone through this. And I understand now why people don't use the VA.
Right.
So that's how this was born. But that network thing, and this is to connect those networks, of you and me, and your network. Jen, we had your brother on last week, so there's there's a whole network of veterans. So why don't we connect them all together? And that's pretty much the purpose, right? Connecting veterans with resources, and the
I'll
network
tell
being a
you,
resource.
absolutely. There's a lot out there. We here in our local community in the Palm Harbor, Florida, uh, Tarpon Springs area, that we're starting a veterans chamber group. So part of the Chamber of Commerce, there's always veteran groups, veteran owners within the local chambers of commerce that you can reach out to, and they'll be more than happy to give you their lesson learns on some of the things and trials and tribulations they went through in that particular community for establishing a business. If you want to go into selling back to the government or doing government contracting, the Small Business Administration is very good about helping veteran businesses get established, either through grants, loans, and that's besides what the VA does in their assistance in helping small business owners as veteran owned small businesses. So there's, and I used to know it as the PTAC, but there's another group, they've renamed it, and it's within the Small Business Administration.
Right.
Those guys are counselors. Their purpose is to help you as a new entrepreneur, a new small business owner, to navigate all of the red tape, all of the things that you need to sign up for, all the registrations you have to have, all the credentials you have to be able to do business with the government, both at the federal, state, and local levels. And they are designed to help you navigate that whole maze of things to get up and established. And I help point folks to that. In fact, I was on a call just 2 weeks ago with a group out of Colorado. So, and it's not just for me here locally. I help folks all over the country. So that's another avenue that's available to veterans. It's actually available to all small business owners, not just veterans, but all small business owners, to reach out to those local resources that are there to help you. That's their sole purpose. That's what they get paid to do. You don't have to pay them. They get paid by the state and local governments to help small business owners get started and inject, revenue into the community.
Yes, and I do know that the Small Business Association also has classes that you can sign up for, and I've been to a couple of them that they do them virtually, and they have PowerPoints and everything else that you can download afterwards. Yeah, so yes, all those are great local resources, or great resources in general. And a lot of the, like, if I just want to add for the entrepreneur part, if you do want a franchise, there are franchises that will give veterans a discount. I know the UPS store, I think it's like
Mhm.
$15,000 they give you for, just being a veteran. So there are discounts out there if you choose to go the franchise way. But Jennifer, so what was your transition like? Because, we all go through a transition, right? And I'm sure having Phil home all the time was was a big change because you guys traveled a lot.
Yes, yes. So it was a big transition, but the thing that I really held on to, of course, was my network that I created in the military. And it's about reaching out to just if you need things, reach out to your military family. That's one thing that I love the most about the military is the other spouses of military members. They became my family because when, you're in Germany and your whole family's in the States and you don't have family to come over when your kids are sick and you have to run somebody to the ER or that thing, your military friends become your family. And so, I would consult with them, like, how did you handle this? Or, we're going through veteran stuff, and it really is just transitioning to, it's almost like a new duty station is how I approached it. And I've always been big on Facebook, like, as far as, I like to post and all of that stuff too, but I like to go to Facebook for answers. I join different groups. There's so many different military spouse groups and military retirement groups and local groups, like Phil said, and our brother started that veterans association for the local veterans. So that was awesome. But, turn to those different things and ask the questions that you're wondering, because like Jennifer said, you're not the first one that's ever gone through it or asked the question. So there's people that do have the answers. And then don't forget your kids. Your kids are getting, this is a big adjustment for them too, because as we all know, military life and civilian life are two entirely different worlds. So don't forget your kids are going through that as well. And people, to me, don't seem as friendly as in the military sometimes. So, you know, go to groups on Facebook or the Nextdoor app. Find the things you're looking for because they're out there. And it's easier today than it was 20 years ago when we didn't have all of these things at our fingertips. But um, and then just keeping that communication between you and your service member, or your spouse. Phil and I talk about everything under the sun. He leans on me for things. I lean on him for things. And I will tell you, this whole veterans for his VA benefits, it's been work. I mean, he's had to do so much work and so many appointments, and so, just for me supporting him through that and letting him know, it's all, it's this is the process and that kind of thing, and let me know how I can help you and what I can do, even if it's looking through medical records, whatever. So don't forget that too. So those are a little bit of my tips.
Yeah, the great tips. And but a lot of times you were talking about ask those questions. Well, a lot of times those veterans don't know the questions to ask, or even an
Mhm.
entrepreneur, somebody who is not a veteran. Entrepreneurs, if they want to start a business, they don't know where to start, and they don't know the questions to ask. So that is for your network. You guys are right. I mean, you go to somebody who is a business owner or an entrepreneur and you say, hey, I want to do this, but I don't know the questions to ask. I don't know where to start. Where do I start? And
So if you,
I guess,
oh, I didn't know if you were
go ahead.
asking that. I was going to say start with the Chamber of Commerce. That's what I did when we moved here from Colorado. We joined the Chamber of Commerce like right out the gate, and
Mhm.
because they have a lot of those resources for you, and I
Mhm.
think our local Chamber of Commerce was 300 a year, so it's not. I mean, it's not going to break the bank, and they have those free classes, and they where you can go ask the questions and how do I start up my own business? How do I even if you're in another business, join the chamber. Because, I mean, we have people that are bank tellers in there. We have people that own an ice cream shop. I mean, everything you could even think of. But your local chamber is so valuable, so valuable. That's what I would do.
Absolutely. And I agree. I totally agree. And because we moved here to Georgia from Colorado as well. So if you guys didn't know, Jen and Phil and I met in Colorado.
Yep.
And so they lived in an adjacent town. But we have been friends since we all lived in Colorado.
And we
So
met through other military friends, Michelle,
yes,
right? Yep.
So she lived next door to you guys, and that's
Yep.
how we met. So yes,
It's a beautiful,
but
the military is so beautiful. Such a
it
network.
is. It is. And look, they moved. I think you're about 5 hours away from us now, but
Yep.
they moved
Mhm.
5 hours away. And look, we're still talking. So, I mean, that network, like Phil and Jen were talking about, you need to keep that network. And even military members, it's the same. You don't talk to somebody for 5 years, and look where we are. And most people are the same. Hey, we have a mutual interest. Let's help each other out. And that's exactly what military veterans do. They help each
Yep.
other out. And that's why we're all
And
here.
that's exactly right.
Yeah. So,
If I
and
if I
this, yeah, go ahead.
So if I could offer one other piece of advice for folks who actually retire, so they did all the things that they needed to and they're very comfortable with where they are. But I think after a while they start getting a little stir crazy. They have to always be veterans always have to be involved. They always have to be doing something. And I always tell them find an organization and volunteer. I said volunteering really it does several things. One, it helps your community. It helps those folks that are in need. And then secondly, it helps you. It helps keep your time occupied. It gives you purpose. It gives you a job, so to speak. And it gets you out of the house because after you've gone through and done all the honeydew list, you're trying to figure out, okay, what's next? And what's next is go volunteer because you can only do so much golfing, so much fishing, and then so much fixing around the house. And and so the next best thing is go volunteer and help your community out in whatever organization that you particularly care for or that you have a passion for.
Yes. And that's pretty much what I did. You have to stay in purpose because as veterans, we have a purpose, right? Our purpose is defending our
Right.
country. And so when you get out that purpose, people think that purpose is gone. Well, it's not gone. You just have to direct it in a different way. So
Absolutely.
yes, what Phil said, and that's pretty much what I did too. After I couldn't find a job coming to Georgia, I started my business, and the business was kind of slow, but I've been talking, and my son got into 4-H. So, you know, we've been here 5 years. So 3 years later, here I am, the archery coach and the hunting skills coach. So, that's my way of giving back. I love archery. I just love to do it, and I love to teach kids how to do it. So, that's my giving back as well. So, absolutely, that purpose can be multiple things. It just doesn't have to be a
Hmm.
business, and if you're getting income and you can live off of that income, absolutely go do something you're passionate about. But I would start with the small SBA, or sorry, the Chamber of Commerce first, because a lot of
Hmm.
times, even in our small town, that's where I was going before, was that was the first thing that I did too, was join the chamber, because they already have that network in place.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so, and in our small town, we have a veterans committee. So, which kind of shocked me, but it's great. But I don't hear much about it. So let's get the word out about it, right? That's another thing. So we might have a new outreach event coming up. So, who raised their hand for that one?
Oh,
So,
you sound like
but
just like
anyways,
me. I can't say no. I can't say no.
I don't know what it is, but I work better when I'm busy. So I work more efficiently. So,
And that's
but
the, I
anyway,
think that's the
so
military in you and Phil.
I
Like
think
you're used to
so.
being, yeah, you're used to, 24/7, you're on, you're ready to go. You're ready to, defend your country, to serve. And we've seen some friends get lost in the depression after
Hmm.
they've retired. In fact, Phil's father, that happened to him years ago. And
Hmm.
and the best thing that Phil's dad ever did was just he went out there and he found a new network and it got him, get you out of your need and your training, because you've been, right, you've trained for this. So it's almost like you have to, like, alter that, if that makes sense. Like, alter that need to be busy, 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 right, Phil? Does
Yep.
that make sense? Maybe you can word it different.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you worded it exactly right. It was, yeah, just you look for those other things to help occupy your time, but at the same time, you're serving purpose and you're serving your community. And
Right.
as I tell folks when it was a phrase I had taken from an old soldier who was wearing I think it was a Korean War vet, I think, or it was, yeah, I believe he was a Korean War vet. And I said, I went up and thanked him for his service, and he said, "You were worth it." And I was like, "Wow, I'm taking that phrase." Um,
That's
it
awesome.
was very humbling to me, and and he goes, "You were worth it because we serve for our fellow citizens." And so that never stops. Even when you retire and after you take the uniform off, serving our fellow citizens, that is ingrained in us. It's part of our DNA. It's
Hmm.
part of what we do. And it helps fill, as it helps, as Jen says, fill the bucket. It helps fill your bucket on helping your fellow citizen. And whether you do it by defending our nation or by giving a helping hand, with the Habitat for Humanity or whatever, the like building something or doing a special project somewhere, or just being a mentor to a group of disadvantaged kids. Those things, giving back, it's ingrained in us to keep doing.
Absolutely, it is. And I think that, it starts with, all of the volunteer projects that you can do. I know we had with the command that I was in Norfolk, they had a bunch of volunteer possibilities. I mean, of course, it wasn't mandatory, but I went out there and did Habitat for Humanity. You just sparked a memory that I had, but it is ingrained, right, to serve our fellow man. So no, I'm gonna take that one too, because my response when somebody says thank you for your service, I'd say thank you for your support. But I like that, you were worth it, because there's not
Really?
much of that anymore.
Mm-mm.
You know,
No,
I think
we were at
BeachJam
an event. We were
had
actually at an
issues.
event this weekend with our company, and it's surprising how dwindling the veteran population is.
Hmm.
Um, and so actually our owner of our company that we were with this weekend, she's a veteran, um, and she asked she was talking about grit, and we know that we deal with folks and having grit and never stopping and that kind of stuff within the military, but she was applying it to our business, right? And to the folks there at this weekend. And she asked the question, how many folks have served? And I think there was less than five. Less than five people raised their hands out of that group of, there was probably about 70 people there. And so it really is a dwindling community. Um, as we move forward, and the force structure is different and all that type of stuff, but it's still, there are many people out there that appreciate us. There are many people out there that say thank you. There's just so many people that do. I think our country is at a point where it's very grateful for our military and the things that it has done for us or done for the country. um, and so I think, by saying that back, that you were worth it, really goes a long way, and it stops people in their tracks, because they're not expecting that. And in fact, I think that I'll tell this one last story. We have a thing called First Friday, and they block off the street downtown, and they have all kinds of vendors and everything, and they had somebody out there doing a, what do you call it? Not, I forgot what it's called, where you have to get a petition, I guess, where you have people sign to get something on the ballot. And this lady stopped me and said, "Hey, would you like to sign this petition?" And I looked at what it was, and I said, "No, I'm not interested in that." And she goes, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you for your service," because I had my Army hat on. And I said, "You were worth it. And oh, by the way, you're able to do what you are doing now because folks have served in the previous and before, to allow you freedom of speech and freedom to go and do these types of things with our government." And she goes, "Oh, you're right. Well, because she was a little perturbed at first because I wasn't going to sign it. And then once I said it that way, she was like, I get it now." And so, and that was really good that it ended that way. But I think I made her think about the freedoms that she had and the ability to be able to do things because those who have served before.
Absolutely, and I think people forget more often than not, like you just said. So, no, thank you so much for your service and for coming on. I think we lost Jen, but tell the listeners where they can get in touch with you if they want to learn more about your business, or if they want more resources. Uh, if they want to go out, because you're part of our network, so you're part of their network. So tell them where they can get a hold of you to get more information.
Absolutely. So for the business, it's My Daily Choice, and it's mydailychoice.com/Jen Hoyle, is how you can reach out to us and see about our business. Um, and just a real quick snapshot of that. We have 30 different brands, everything from physical products to digital products. We're global, and we basically run an online marketplace from our home. And so people can join, and it's a network marketing outfit, and we love to have people join us and help change people's lives for the better. We have We actually have teams in Africa, England, Europe, United States. We're working on a team in the Philippines right now, and so it's a global outfit. So that's how you can get to us. mydailychoice.com/Jen Hoyle, and that's how you can reach us for our business. To reach me personally, I'm on Facebook, Philip Hoyle. You can see my picture on there. You can message me. The Crypto Colonel is my handle, I think, on Instagram. The Crypto Colonel is my handle on Instagram, and so you can reach out to me that way. I'm also on LinkedIn, and I tell everybody reach out on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is really if you're in the marketplace to find a follow-on job in the government sector or within the government contracting sector. I love helping folks out with that kind of things as well. People are always asking me, "Hey, do you know a guy? Do you know a guy? I need somebody to do this. I need somebody to do that." And I'm always glad to forward resumes of folks, of veterans who are looking, that I'm connected with in some shape, form, or fashion. So I'm on LinkedIn as well. I think it's Philip Hoyle on LinkedIn as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you again to you and Jen for coming on and being a part of our network. And we look forward to talking with you soon. So that's it for today. Sorry to the production team we went over. But if you want to get a hold of us here at BeachJam Media, it's beachjammedia@gmail.com. And we will have a swag website up by next week and a website for you to check out by next week. So we'll see you next week at the beach.
BeachJam Media is your resource-driven oasis, hosted by Jennifer Corbin-Carson. Each week, we dive into hot topics and essential resources for individuals, businesses, veterans, and their families. Join us for insightful discussions and practical advice as we navigate the tides of change together. At BeachJam Media, knowledge flows endlessly and insights never stop. Contact us to be a part of our show at our email address, beachjammedia@gmail.com.
In the calm of early morning, when the day begins anew, we pause to reflect. May holds a special significance beyond just being another month. It is time for solemn remembrance, gratitude, and honoring those who've made tremendous sacrifice for our freedom. To all who served in the military, across all branches, and the National Guard, to the veterans, and to the families who support them through thick and thin, we express our heartfelt thanks. Your courage, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication inspired us deeply. As we commemorate Military Appreciation Month, we recognize the importance of standing by our newest recruits. Those brave individuals venturing into an unknown, responding to duties called with determination, deserve our utmost respect and guidance. Equally important is our commitment to support those actively serving in the Air Force, Coast Guard, Army, Navy, Marines, Space Force, and National Guard. Whether deployed abroad or stationed at home, they carry out their duties with honor and integrity. It is our responsibility to ensure they have the resources, care, and unwavering support necessary to fulfill their missions. So, as we observe Military Appreciation Month, let's unite in gratitude and solidarity. Let's honor the past, support the present, and inspire the future. To all who serve, have served, and those who stand beside them, we extend our deepest appreciation. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
Thank you for tuning in to BeachJam Media with your host, Jennifer Corbin-Carson. We hope today's dive into hot topics and valuable resources left you feeling refreshed and inspired. Our mission is to keep you informed and engaged as we ride the waves of what washes up in life together. Until next time, stay curious, keep the conversation flowing, ask questions, and let the glisten of the shoreline guide your journey. Goodbye.